All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into the Ashanti tribe and the Hummy tribe, which are all fun people. It's brothers, stuff like that. So let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so I can read it the right way for you. Excuse me. Make it a little bit more bigger. All right. I don't think I cut nothing out, but we're going to see. So, first of all, this article is in PBS.org for the ones that want to go check it out. PBS.org. And it says wonders/episodes. Episode 3, slave, right? So let's go ahead and get into this. It's confronting the legacy of the African slave trade. It says, historically, West Africa is associated with the slave, gold, and ivory trades, perhaps most often the former. West Africa is also the place of origin of voodoo or voodoo, but they really saying voodoo. The only indigenous African religion to survive the transatlantic slave trade and remain in practice in the Americas today. The historical roots of racial discrimination in the United States today can be traced back to North American slavery and the kidnapping of more than 20 million Africans. It is easily assumed, therefore, that the African slave trade pit brutal, gun-wielding European slaver traders against unsuspecting passive African victims, while the Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, English, and French slave traders were often brutal. They were not always working alone. Many Africans were also complicit in this victimization. Pre-colonial empires such as Dahomey and Ashanti, located in what is now Benin and Ghana, were slave ports of Oida and Elmina flourished. It's a pre-colonial empires such as Dahomey and Ashanti, located in what is now Benin and Ghana, where slave ports at Oida and Elmina flourished, accumulated enormous wealth and power as a result of the trade of their fellow Africans. So, in fact, Europeans often acted as junior partners to African rulers, merchants, and middlemen in the slave trade along the West African coast from the mid-15th century on. Two factors contributed to this dependency: the coastal geography and the diseases of West Africa. Seasonal wind patterns along the Atlantic coast of Africa generated a heavy surf and dangerous cross currents, which in turn buffeted a land almost entirely lacking in natural harbors. Hazardous offshore reefs and sandbars completed the matter even further for seafarers along the West African coast. European commerce in West Africa took place, therefore, most often on ships anchored well away from shore and dependent on skilled African canoemen whose ability to negotiate across the hazardous stretch of water between the mainland and the waiting ships made the Atlantic trade possible. Even in places where Europeans were able to conduct trade on the mainland, their presence was limited by an epidemiological situation that impeded their livelihood and threatened their lives. Malaria, dysentery, yellow fever, and other diseases reduced the few Europeans living and trading along the West African coast to a chronic state of ill health, and earned Africa the name white man's grave. In this environment, European merchants were rarely in a position to call the shots. Furthermore, when Europeans first initiated a trading relationship with West Africans in the mid 15th century, they encountered well-established and highly developed political organizations and competitive regional commercial networks. Europeans relied heavily on their African rulers and mercantile classes, at whose mercy, more often than not, they gained access to the commodities that they desired. European military technology was not effective enough to allow them this access by means of force on a consistent basis until the 19th century. Therefore, it was most often Africans, especially those elite coastal rulers and merchants, who controlled the means of coastal and river navigation, under whose authority and to whose advantage the Atlantic trade was conducted. Domestic slave ownership, as well as domestic and international slave trades in Western Africa, preceded the late 15th century origins of the Atlantic slave trade. Since most African societies did not recognize private property and land, slaves functioned as one of the only profitable means of production individuals could own. West Africans, therefore, acquire and express wealth in terms of dependent people, whether as kin, clients, or slaves. Moreover, caravan routes had long linked sub-Saharan African peoples with North Africa and the wider Mediterranean and Middle Eastern worlds. Not only was slavery an established institution in West Africa before European traders arrived, but Africans were also involved in a trans-Saharan trade in slaves along these routes. African rulers and merchants were thus able to tap into pre-existing methods and networks of enslavement to supply European demands for slaves. Enslavement was most often a byproduct of local warfare, kidnapping, or the manipulation of religious and judicial institutions. Military, political, and religious authority within West Africa determined who controlled access to the Atlantic slave trade. Come on, man. And some African elites, such as those in the Dahomey and Ashanti empires, took advantage of this control and used it to their profit by enslaving and selling other Africans to European traders. It is important to distinguish between European slavery and African slavery. In most cases, slavery systems in Africa were more like unindentured servitude, in that the slaves retained some rights and children born to slaves were generally born free. The slaves could be released from servitude and join a family clan. In contrast, European slaves were chattel, or property, who were stripped of their rights. The cycle of slavery was perpetual. Children of slaves would, by default, also be slaves. Although the historical reality is sometimes difficult to accept by African Americans who still face racial discrimination over a century after the abolition of slavery, African complicity in the slave trade neither justifies today's social problems nor minimizes their seriousness. 15th century Africa was not a homogeneous group of people. Some African elites benefited from the enslavement of their rivals, their enemies, their poor, and other culturally foreign groups from the 15th century through the 18th and even into the 19th centuries. That's 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th century, hundreds. So it's a class, language, religion, gender, and ethnicity divided Africans, right? It says class, language, religion, gender, and ethnicity divided Africans. And it was along these lines that certain Africans participated in the slave trade. Understanding the dynamics of African complicity in the slave trade is important in understanding Africans as historically active and diverse human beings. This understanding should not detract from the horrors of the slave trade or from its American legacy of inequality and racism. Okay? So they said a whole lot in a short amount of time. So let's get into this first thing at a time because we're going somewhere with this. First of all, when he said, I want y'all to understand because I think I might have said this already, but I need y'all to understand that everything that they're talking about actually happened here in the Americas. Okay, so there's 20 million Africans they saying that was sent over here from Africa. That's not entirely the truth. The bulk of those numbers was already here in the America. The so-called Indians were us and our ancestors, you know, and the Caribbeans and stuff like that. But let's keep going. So let's go ahead and tap into voodoo, since they said it said historically West Africa associated with the slave, gold and ivory trades, perhaps most often the former. West Africa is also the place of origin of voodoo. All right. So it say the slave trade displaced millions of Africans from their native lands, uprooted from their societies. The Africans brought with them their family values, beliefs, traditions, and religious practices. Voodoo is the only traditional African religion to survive in the New World. Voodoo, that's what I call it. Voodoo originated in the ancient kingdom of Dahomey, present-day Nigeria, Benin, and Togo, and derives from the Fon word for God or spirit. So it say the word voodoo comes from the word fun, and the word fun means God or spirit. And so they call us the fun people, so that means they call us the God or spirit people. Ooh-wee. And it say other accurate spellings include Vodun or Vodon, but never voodoo, the sensationalist and derogatory Western creation. So it says, when you say voodoo, that's what the sensationalist and derogatory Western creation is. That's what they said to talk down on it. You see what I'm saying? To make it sound like it's evil and bad. They say voodoo is a comprehensive system of knowledge that has nothing to do with the simplistic and erroneous images such as sticking pins into dolls, putting a hex on an adversary, or turning innocents into zombies. So right there, it is an organized form of communal support that provides meaning to the human experience in relation to the natural and supernatural forces of the universe. Okay? So they say it helps provide communal support that provides meaning to the human experience in relation to the natural and supernatural forces of the universe. That's what it's designed to do, teach you about how to interact with the universe, the nature. Okay? So when movies and stuff like that, where it's sticking pins into dolls and hexing people and having adversaries, and and the zombies and all that there, and witches, and that's them. That's their way of making it derogatory, of portraying it in a bad light or in a dark light. You see. But really, it comes from the word fun, which means God or spirit. That's heavy in itself. This is PBSnow.org saying this. All right. And we already saw that the fun people were definitely black people. There's no doubt about it. You understand? So, Voodoo is essentially a monotheistic religion, which recognizes a single and supreme spiritual entity or God, known as Mawalisa among the Fon, Oloron among the Yoruba, and Bonde or Grand Met in Haiti. All right. So, possession, an important dimension, what it's supposed to say is possession, an important dimension of voodoo worship is among, well, I can say they said it right. My bad, y'all. I'm stopping. I was just, all right. Possession, an important dimension of voodoo worship is among the least understood aspects of the religion. Through possession, both the Iwa, the great commune spirits, and the community are affirmed. The participants transcend their materiality by becoming spirits, and the spirits renew their vigor by dancing and feasting with the kawal, or horses. For it is said that during possession, the Iwa rides a person like a cavalier rides a horse. Eventually, as important, possession is a time when the I will communicate in a tangible way with the people, who during such times receive answers to pressing questions. Whoa. So they get dealt with in the tangible way of ideas or information. And peep game now. This sounds like the Holy Ghost. They say when you get that awa, they know you know it. That's when you start letting the spirit take over, so to speak, right? And they compare it to horses because it's as if you're riding a horse, like a cavalier riding a horse. So that's how you let that energy go through you. You know, that's that natural and supernatural force of the universe. And when you receive this energy from the universe, you receive the Iwa. You say through possession, both the Iwa, the great community spirit, and the community are affirmed. So the Iwa and the community. So there's two spirits, right? The community spirit and the Iwa spirit. So the spirit inside and the spirit outside. Spirit of the earth and the spirit of you. Inside, outside. Right? And they say you transcend the materiality by becoming spirits, which the two spirits they said, the spirit of the earth and the spirit of yourself. Just let it take over, let it flow within you, you see? You know, when people really be dancing and just be doing their thing, like tribal dances and all that, that's what they're implicating. The Iwa, right? And it's from the people of the Fon. And the God, the entity they represent is called Mawalisa. And it's also called Oloron in Yoruba. And it's called Bunde or Grand Met in Haiti. Okay? And this is what gives that possession, and this is their voodoo religion. Our voodoo religion, like that we do in the church right now today, but we holler about the Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ, which is the same difference. But hey, understand that this is what it really is. So you can really tap into that real deal. So let's see what Mama Lisa is. Hope I'll be able to come back to this article, man. All right, say Mawu. Mawu means God and you. The people of the Volta religion refer to Almighty God as Mawu or Yehovah. Okay, Yahweh. Also, Mawu, alternatively, Mawu, is a creator goddess associated with the sun and moon in the Hami mythology. In some myths, she is the wife of the male god, Lisa. Hey, peep that now. They say the male god name is Lisa. I thought that was a female name. And they say the female name is Mawu. And she is the creator goddess. That's what our ancestors believed. Not no Adam took a rib, but what? Come again, like Lauren Hill said. Like my sister Lauren Hill said. You feel me? So now, understand what's going on right here. So I just followed my womb. So my womb and Lisa is different. So let me pull up a male god, Lisa, right quick. Well, first of all, let me go to images for my womb. You see, that's them together. You see, that's the two energies in the sky that they was talking about already. And you see what they're showing, right? Look at that. I love it, man. Look at this here. Going out. Let's get with it, people. Let's step up to our power. We the ones, you understand? Let's get with it. Look at this. It's gravy. All right? You don't get no better than this here. My woo. That's the female. And Lisa is the male. Ain't that something? And y'all know what we're talking about. We're talking about the great energies of the universe. All right, dig that. Dig that. Okay, the encyclopedia says, Mawu Lisa is a complex deity worshipped in coastal West Africa by the Fon and most of the Ewe. Occasionally, Mawu and Lisa are considered as separate deities. Occasionally, all right? They're always together. Sometimes they are seen together as a complementary sexual pair. Okay, so we know we're talking about electric, solar energy and moon energy coming together, magnetic, electric. All right. So now, let's go to God Lisa, male God Lisa. We know we don't believe in none of this, y'all. This is mythology, okay? Mythology is about the earth. That you are the median of, all right? So Lisa, the male principle, corresponds to the sun and is associated with day, heat, work, power, war, strength, toughness, and intransigence. Intransigence, my bad. Intransigence, all things that characterize typical male persons. Hence, Mawu and Lisa are the sky gods who absorb the nature of the supreme being or God Almighty in the Fon cosmology. Okay, let's read that again. Male principle, female principle. Lisa, the male principle, corresponds to the sun and is associated with day, heat, work, power, war, strength, toughness, and intransigence. All things that characterize typical male persons. Hence, Mawu and Lisa are the sky gods who absorb the nature of the Supreme Being or God Almighty in the fun cosmology. So you got fun cosmology. So we get the idea of what both of them is all about. And we saw the images already. See, now they hijacking. Yeah, when you see this here, look, this is, so y'all can see, look. So they got movies and stuff called, a soundtrack called Son of God. They got this right here, False Gods. You see that? They're letting us know, listen, always hijacking. Look at all the hijack. Where all these white people coming from, Chinese people, come on now. We civilize everybody. Everybody get this understanding from us. The Mawu, us, the fun, the con, okay? The contract. We the one created all these systems. It's our track for them. Oh, but anyway, I don't mean to sound, yeah. But anyway, let's do this. Let's get on back to something else. So let's just go on fun cosmology right quick. And then we're gonna try to get back to some of the other stuff I was on. So let's just look at images. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Cause I already talked about Mama Water for the people that know, that watch that video. See, but it got something to do with Mama Water. So let's check out the images. So this is the fun cosmology. See now, why did a Mayan map come up dealing with the cosmology of the fun people? Somebody tell me that. Riddle me that. Answer me that. Because, like I told y'all before, all civilization started right here in Americas. In the Americas. All right? We the true people, right? And we spread it out everywhere else. This is the land of milk and honey. I'm telling you, that's how it went. And a whole lot of other stuff went on during the process, but let's keep going. Looking at the different cosmologies, right? Of the fun people or whatever. For the people that don't know, cosmology mean like how the earth's shaped and all that. All right, this is all they're giving us so far about that. All right, let's get out of this. I'm trying to move y'all on to something else now. Let's see if we can get back to where we was at. All right, so now we already went throh Mom with Lisa to understand what's going on, what they think about that. So now let's go to the Yoruba people. First of all, let's see who the Yoruba is. And then we're going to check out what they got going on. They say Yoruba is a member of an African people of southwestern Nigeria and Benin, the Kwa language of the Yoruba, and an official language of Nigeria. All right, so you know what it is right there. Boom. So check out some images right quick. Which I already told they good and black. So y'all see Yoruba people. Okay, our people. All right, that's what's going on, man. Check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Yeah. Hey, the women is the thing, man. It's the women. It's all about the women, man. It's all about our women. They the queens. They run shit. It's them. You understand me? Gotta protect the ladies, man. They the creators. Real talk. Don't get it twisted. Look at them. Look at the women. Look at your wife, man. Look at your girl. Yeah. My wife is a queen. My wife is one of these women. You understand me? Real talk. Look at her. They just slid Cardi B and his mother. Where she come from? Cardi B and Yoruba. You see? Man, these folks know what's going on, man. Look. Look at your celebrities, man. Look at that. Look at your celebrities. You around here tripping. Trying to tighten up, man. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. Oh yeah, we on to you though. We on to you. Yoruba in Cuba. You understand? Yoruba in Cuba. Yoruba. All right. So let's do this. We already know what it is. I ain't getting on y'all people. Y'all know what it is. We know what it is. We've been doing this thing. But we just ain't know we've been doing it. We ain't know what we was doing. You see? We the Ocean or Risha, the Igbo. You know? Come on now. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. All motivation, baby. All motivation right here. All right, so let's get to the Oloro. See what that's all about. Any role you want to pick, man, that's what she is, man. Time to get that paperwork straight. All right? Oloron. Yoruba alphabet, Oloron, is under the rule of or in the heavens, the supreme God or supreme being in the Yoruba pantheon. Oloron is also called Oludumare. Humans do not worship Oloron directly. There are no sacred areas of worship or ordained person. Okay? Okay? This ain't no idol worship, man. You understand? That's what they're trying to tell you. You know? That power is in you. At least they finally ain't, what you call it though? What they call it? Plagiarized this one. They probably got it in Greek form too. Yeah, somewhere. Which y'all see, Olora. Right? That's the power in you. That's what they're trying to tell you. Who heard about Olora before? I ain't never heard about it. There it is. I know the white one had to come around somewhere. There they go. They can't hide, man. They gonna pop out. Always trying to hijack, man, because we the ones. But I don't know who the black ones is, but they look tough. But where the women at? Because they the ones. It's the women. They were the warriors. The women are the warriors. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get with it. This is interesting. Real talk to me. All right, so let's get back to something else. So we ran through that. We'll see what that's all about. So now we already know who the hated people is. We know they're good and black. Well, let's go to the one. Let's go to it anyway for the ones that don't know. Everybody don't know what they actually look like. Check out Haiti right quick. Haiti, officially the Republic of Haiti, and formerly called Haiti. It's a country located on the island of Hispaniola in the Greater Antilles, an archipelago of the Caribbean. Okay, so now I want people in Florida to understand, because I'm a Floridian. All my Floridians, I want y'all to understand that the people of Haiti and Cuba is our people. Okay, there was anything that was Spanish territory. It's our folks. All right. Because the Spanish took over. They took our people. And a lot of us left Florida and went to Haiti and Cuba and all that kind of stuff. All right. All right. So now, let's keep on So we talking about the Caribbean and all that. So we already know about the Haitians. Let's check out some pictures. See, this was going on. That's why they're doing what they're doing to us, man, in Haiti. Look at Haiti. Look at Haiti. This is like probably like right now. Look at Haiti. Excuse me. But listen, man, this is Haiti right now. They ain't letting the people from Haiti in America and all that stuff because this is political. Because we went to war with them. That's why. You understand? Look at how they doing us in Haiti, man. Wow. Look at this, man. This is all the pictures they showing of Haiti. They ain't showing the beautiful beaches and all that kind of stuff. Look what they showing that's going on in Haiti right now. Look at this. Look at this. What those are? What are those, man? Which y'all already know that. But these are our people that went to Haiti to escape from the Americas and stuff like that. They was on the front line most of the time. Millions of people out here in Haiti, man. Look at that. They doing us wrong, man. Look at this. Look what's going on. Let's see what this at. What you got right next to it? Cuba. You're in the Caribbean Sea. Hispaniola. Learn you some Spanish. Quit saying, oh, that's their language. They need to learn English. Nah. You Espanol. Tu Espanol. Just like you ask need to learn, you know the English because they come over here fucking with you. You need to learn Spanish too because they came over here fucking with you. But all this side language on the cool, bro. You understand? And it's right next to the Dominican Republic. And we wonder why we like going over there and stuff like that because those are our people. All right. We got to connect on the global aspect. Everybody on the internet and all, but listen, man. All right, but y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what it is. I just want you to see what it is. Get back up there. All right. Got the Haiti part out of the way. Let's go. Let's see. Let's go back to this. All right. So let's check out Bonde. This is what they believe in. And understand that we came from voodoo and all that kind of stuff, right? Ain't that something? Bonde is Haitian voodoo. Wikipedia. They don't say voodoo to it. It say Haitian voodoo. It's French voodoo. Also written as Vadu. Vadu. Known since Bonde, God, is considered unreachable. It say known, okay, it's saying some other stuff, right? And then it say Vodouisms aim their prayers to lesser entities, the spirits known as Loa or Misty, right? So they got a whole thing going with this here. It's all kind of stuff going on, you understand? Haitian voodoo drums and all that kind of stuff. You want to get more into it, just get more into it, you understand me? Because I'm trying to get you to the Ashanti and all that. I'm just running through a sidebar. Gift right quick. Might need to relabel this part, the voodoo. 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 It's voodoo. Not voodoo. Voodoo. They say or voodoo. No, you already know it's not or voodoo. You understand? So don't get lost. So it say the voodoo religion and monotheistic, meaning that followers believe in a single God. In this case, it is Bonde, who is also known as the good God. Good God. While Vodutionists interact more with the spirits they call Iwa or Loa. They hold Bunde as the supreme being. All right? They just saying. But y'all already know they said it ain't about no sky daddy though, you understand me? You know, gotta let that bunny in there, bunny. It's like everything when they talk to me about the selling the soul, they got y'all going through the Greek mythology in the back door. And well, actually, not the actuality. You know, a lot of them, they just know what it is. A lot of our people know what it is, but they call them the boule and the secret societies and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When we talking about all those deities and all that, we talking about the Mama Waters and like the Egyptian deities and all that, the Osiris and Isis, and they letting you know what we talking about. We talking about the universe and all that there. And then when we talking about the real people, we talking about the women, serpent goddesses and gods and hey, the serpent people. That's us. All right. So don't get lost. Like worshiping and praying yourself away from yourself. Oh yeah, but it's finna get uglier. You know, like I said, it's a sidebar. This ain't even stuff I really was trying to show y'all. Yeah. It just led into this. That's what I'm looking to. But yeah, we see what that is already. So let's keep on going. Let's get on back to what the original was. All right. Get on back up to here. Go right here now. I think that's what we at with it. But I know I was supposed to click on this here. Click on this here. Get us back to this here. We went through voodoo already. Now let's go through the Dahomey. See what the Dahomey is. All right. It's a Dahomey, a pre-colonial West African kingdom, is located in what is now southern Benin. Dahomey reached the height of its power and prestige during the heyday at the Atlantic trade in the 8th and 19th centuries. Dahomey's capital, was founded around 1620 by Dogberry and led a Lotta after a power struggle amongst his brothers for the control of that kingdom. Under the rule of Dogberry brothers for the control of that kingdom. Under the rule of Dogberry and his descendants, Abomey was expected from military conquest and consolidated into a powerful state, and Dahomey became heavily involved in the European slave trade, which had begun in earnest a century previous with the arrival of the Dutch. It said the rule of Gezi, 1818-1858, who overthrew King of Dandazon, marked the pinnacle of Dahomey's power and influence. However, the end of the slave trade in the mid-19th century greatly affected the economic fortunes of Dahomey, forcing it to provide primary products for newly important colonial markets. Palm oil, its main export, was never able to generate the same kind of revenues the slave trade had yielded. After the French gained control of Porto Novo, commerce declined. In 1892, the French launched a full-scale offense against Dahomey. Dahomey leaders surrendered in 1894, and the kingdom became a French colony. All right, so it say that they got into it with the French, and the French ended up taking over. They took everything from the Hun. All right. And I want y'all to understand too that the Hun and the Ashanti people, they was like fighting against each other. And I want y'all to people as well that this is 1892 and they ain't conquering until 1894, right? And that was like right around the corner when we were still running Ghana and all that kind of stuff, West Africa and all that, the whole time. All right. Even though the Dutch had arrived, you see what I'm saying? They say the Hummer founded their capital in 1620. You know what I'm saying? And so, peep game, man. So what's all this deal about how these people was doing this and doing that and we were slaves like that, whoop, and it was all them and they just sent so many people over here and did this. I mean, they probably sent a lot of people for sure though, like, but you know, for real though, let's get for real. Let's see what's really going on. Like yeah, people was at war and yeah, it was getting bound. But they already told you the difference between the slavery of European slavery and African slavery and shit like that. But it ain't no excuses and all that. But it ain't even really like how they trying to say that all that was happening over here. Like we was sending them over there. Casualties of war. People going against each other in the land of Americas as well. All right, but that's a whole nother story. But let's keep on going. We'll get into that in 1 second as a matter of fact. That ain't no whole nother story. It's gonna be exactly a part of this story right here. All right. Well, so glad I'm on my own platform where I can just run it how I want to run it, boy. I ain't lying to you. So yeah, boys got the power to mute, kill, and everything else. Oh, that it was funny. It ain't that funny. I'm sure get you killed. Let's see. Let's see what we're going to next, y'all. I done went into my Iowa. All right, let's go bite. Let's get on bite. Get on back, get on back, get on back. All right, let's click on Ashanti right now. We're about to go into say wonders of Ashanti Kingdom. It said the Ashanti or Asante are the dominant ethnic group of a powerful 19th century empire, and today one of Ghana's leading ethnic groups, with more than 2 million members concentrated in South Central Ghana. The political, military, and spiritual foundations of the Ashanti nation date to the first Ashanti king, Osei Tuda. He forged the Ashanti Union by bringing together several subgroups from roughly 1670 to the 1690s. He also built a capital, Kamaza, created the legend of the Golden Stool to legitimize his rule, and began celebrating the Awara or Yam Festival as a symbol of national unity. From 1698 to 1701, the United Ashanti Army defeated the Dinkaira people, who had conquered the Ashanti in the early 17th century. Over the course of the 18th century, the Ashanti conquered most of the surrounding peoples, including the Dagomba. All right, it's by the early 19th century, Ashanti territory covered nearly all of present-day Ghana, including the coast, where the Ashanti could trade directly with the British in exchange for guns and other European goods. The Ashanti sold gold and slaves, usually either captured in war or accepted as tribute from conquered peoples. As they prospered, Ashanti culture flourished. They became famous for gold and brass craftsmanship, wood carving, furniture, and brightly colored woven cloth called kente, kuta kente. Wow. Although the Ashanti maintained traditional beliefs, Muslim traders and Christian missionaries warned some converts among them to their respective religions. See, they say Muslim traders, Christian traders as well. It said during the 19th century, the Ashanti fought several wars with the British, who sought to eliminate the slave trade and expand their control in the region. Eliminate the slave trade. A series of defeats at the hands of the British gradually weakened and reduced the territory of the Ashanti Kingdom. After nearly a century of resistance to British power, the Ashanti Kingdom was finally declared a crown colony in 1902 following the uprising known as the Ashanti War. That sounds like some American shit. That sounds like some Indian shit. Before long, however, the Ashanti reemerged to contribute to the nationalist movement that would help shape modern Ghana. The exiled Ashanti king was allowed to return to Kumasi in 1924, and the British recognized the Ashanti Confederacy as a political entity in 1935. Today, most Ashanti live in the Ashanti region of Ghana. They are primarily farmers growing cocoa for export and yams, plantains, and other produce for local consumption. The Golden Stool, the Ashanti Imperial Palace, and artifacts at the Museum of National Culture in Kumasi have become enduring symbols of Ghana's illustrious past. All right? I want to click on Kente right quick. So that's a Kente. It said the colors and patterns of Kente cloth indicate the wearer's gender, age, and social status. All right, so it's a cultural close-up Kente cloth. So it is representing the status and all that. So he's like, that's little girl clothes, that's grown folks' clothes, that's, you see what I'm saying? That's a little boy, that's just, okay. It's a much more than just the ordinary fabric. Kente cloth has been worn by Ashanti kings, queens, and important figures of state in Ghana since the 12th century. That's 1100. And has evolved into the prime representative of many principles of African culture. Now made from cotton or silk, the first cloth was woven from raffia fibers, and the design was so similar to basket weaving patterns that the cloth was given the name kente, a derivative of kenten, the Ashanti word for basket. Today, over 300 types of kente cloth are recognized, and the fabric is available in a variety of colors, sizes, and designs, all of which symbolize numerous aspects of social and cultural life. Women tend to wear 2 or 3 pieces of kente wrapped around the body with a matching blouse, and men usually wrap one large piece around their body and left shoulder, leaving the right shoulder and arm uncovered. Listen, okay, I get it now. They say with the onset of modern living and social changes in Africa, there have been significant changes in how kente clothes is used. According to Ashanti tradition, the size and design of one's clothes varies according to the gender, age, marital status, and social standing. However, in contemporary society, these guidelines are often ignored, and kente attire is regularly chosen according to personal preference. That's right. Still, color and pattern symbolisms linger as part of modern kente clothes apparel. Patterns with a predominantly yellow design symbolize royalty, wealth, and fertility. Pink represents femininity, calmness, and sweetness. Green indicates growth, fruitfulness, and spiritual rejuvenation. Red, the color of blood, is associated with heightened spiritual and political mood, sacrifice, and struggle. Blue signifies spirituality and peace. And purple and maroon represents the healing power of the earth. The most important color, which is used in most kente patterns and is representative of maturity, energy, antiquity, and spiritual potentness, is black. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. We ain't finished, y'all. This is gonna be a good one, man. This is a good one. This is a good one right here, people. If you don't know who you is, by the time I get finished with you, you ain't gonna never know. Real talk. Now let's check out some of these other people, man, and see what's really, 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 really happening. I'm glad I clicked on that. And that's why y'all need to go to PBS, man, and look at the same thing I'm looking at and really, really read through all this stuff. For real though. I ain't lying. I ain't lying, son. All right. I know it was something I think I saw that I want to click on. Let's go on bike. I don't want to get too carried away from my main idea. All right, so let's see. It was the name, Ottawa, Golden Stool. We'll go through that in a minute. It said, shout out to let's go ahead. She said King. Might well go ahead and check them out right quick. Even though you know we won't find no Queen or Kings and all that. But they ain't gonna show them. They ain't even that. But you know what? I ain't waste my time. Mine just said I ain't really want to waste no time on that anyway. So let's go back to where I was on and get to this tribe stuff. Say, surrounding. It was a Pacific people I wanted to check out. Somebody that had conquered somebody. And I wanted to make sure that they was black. There they go up there. The Denkaira people. So let's check these folks out real quick. See what it is. All right, Denkaira was a powerful nation of Akan people that existed on Ashanti Peninsula from the 1620s and now what is modern day Ghana, like all Akans. You see, like they try to slide that like all Akans is, and they talk about the twa and all that. Hey, we finna bust all that upside the head. I'm just letting y'all know right now. You see, Akan people. Okay? So let's check out the images of this here. At least they gave us the color, right? You see them? That's us. Akan people. All right. Y'all see what it is. And they suffering on there too. They ain't showing nothing too good. Yeah, they fighting too, you see. Everybody at the wall. So by the time they were trying to ship it on over here to us, they just started everything in reverse. First time I think it started over here. And it went over there. This time they look at that. Look at this. Look at that bullshit. Okay. Let me go ahead and slide on them back out of this before I get too pissed off looking at that shit. Alrighty then. So we're talking about the Twi, we're talking about the Con. So that's Dinura. So we already see what that's all about. I guess I'll go ahead and read a little bit of it, see what they say on Wikipedia. Say Dikaira was a powerful nation. People can't read it already. Well, you know what? I don't want to get too far. We see they black. That was my main idea. Just to make sure everybody blacked up, linked up, so we understand that these like real niggas, not no fake looking niggas, or whatever you want to call us, or what we call us by our names, the Khan, the Fawn, whatever you want to call us, which we ain't got to be necessarily niggas no more. Even though that's what they classify us as regardless, right? But yeah, let's get up out of here. Get on back to where we was at. If I can right quick. We'll get on track. All right. So let's go to another type of people, and it was including the Gomba. It sounds like the Dogon, the Gomba people. All right, it say the Gombas are an ethnic group of northern Ghana, numbering about 931,000 in 2012. They inhabit the northern region of Ghana in a sparse savanna region below the Sahelian belt, known as the Sudan. They speak the Dagbana language, which belongs to the Moor Dagbana subgroup of the Gur languages. You see how they got the Moor? They say Moor mean too, like more people, more than regular type stuff. All right. So we see what's going on with that. They didn't order Ghanians. Yeah, doing their own thing. About 1 million of them, so they say, right? So now let's go on back again. We're trying to cover all our bases, y'all. Just give y'all a good ass basic understanding. As you can see, you can go into the details on your own. And we see this ain't been that long ago either. Did I read all this? Yeah, I think I did. I think I remember reading the Crown Colony. No, I didn't actually, I don't think. Still, yeah, I did. I read all this already. Just what the Kente and all that. So it says finally declared to the Crown Colony. That's who the Crown Colony is. Crown Colony in 1902. Now look, Crown Colony, who is this? Crown Colony, dependent territory or royal colony, were independent territories under the administration of the United Kingdom, under seas territories that were controlled by the British government. As such, there are examples of dependencies that fall under colonial rule. All crown colonies were renamed British Dependent Territories in 1981. Since 2002, crown colonies have been known officially as British Overseas Territories. In such territories, residents did not elect members of the British Parliament. A crown colony was usually administered by a governor who directly controlled the executive and was appointed by the crown, a term that in practice usually means the UK government acting on behalf of the monarch. However, the term crown colony has sometimes been used of entities that have elected governments and partial autonomy. These are also known as self-governing colonies. See, that's some game right there. So they kind of just gave the game a self-governing. Let's see what a self-governing colony is. In the British Empire, a self-governing colony was a colony with an elected government in which elected rulers were able to make most decisions without referring to the colonial power with nominal control of the colony. Most self-governing colonies had responsible government. Self-governing colonies, for the most part, have no formal authority over constitutional matters, such the monarch and the constitutional relationship with Britain, the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council, and I'm going too far left on y'all with this shit. This is something I'll be doing on my own. I can't be doing that right now. All right, let me go back. What was that? We get the idea that is Queen Elizabeth of Elizabeth the motherfucking ass. She ain't my goddamn queen. Elizabeth. Lizzo. Motherfucker. I said it. Fuck that shit. Y'all know what it is. Everybody know the truth, man. Except for us, people in the United States. but all around, it worked the trick on all of us. All right, so let's see. See who these people is right quick. All right. So it said Yah Satawa, 17, 1840, 17, 1921, was the queen mother of Ejizu in the Ashanti Empire. So that queen mother stuff again, that's where we get all that from, like the queen of heaven and all that stuff. Now, part of modern day Ghana, appointed by the brother Nana Akwasa, a foreign, a peasant, the Ewishzine, or ruler of Edwezu. All right. So I don't know if this necessarily was a real person or not, but they ain't worship each other. Yeah, I think she was real. So this is real people we talking about, and they don't have real people. They only have mythologies, and they have turned our real people have become superheroes. Let me say it that way. Real talk, but we just don't understand it. We talking about right here in America. Look at this. Look at this woman, man. Look at this woman. This is a this is African American woman. Well, we call us an African American, but yeah, y'all see what I'm saying. The Indians. Come on, man. And what she got in her hand? A gun and a knife. A warrior. A classy warrior at that. This is where we at with it. This is where we at with it. We about to get deep, man. We going deeper. I already know where I'm going. I'm gonna take you in the right direction. You can go. You can relax in the car. Everything I show you gonna be great. Look, y'all see who that is? We're gonna start showing some love, huh? And we say, Yah, who you talking about? Who you talking about? Ashanti, wah. Y'all talking about somebody, what? What? Come on, man, stop playing. These are women. All right. Making me have even more respect for my wife than I already have, you see? That's how this works. We're going to build ourselves up, man. Let's go ahead and click on that golden stool since they just popped out and said click on it. Okay? Look at that cartoons and shit. Fighting the white man. Y'all going to see why they keep showing this kind of stuff in a minute about them and white people. Y'all going to see why they got them guns in a minute. All right. Look it up. Come on now. Let's get real. Let's get real. No cap, man. No cap, homeboy. Now they got our women twerking and all that on TV, and man, we're finna break that. We're finna break all that. We're finna break all that. About to break all that. For real. All right, let's get back to it. I need y'all to go reference this stuff, man. For real. I need y'all to go reference this stuff. I'm trying to get a good platform. Alright. Can't find the scroll. There we go. Nah, let's see what Kenton mean. They say derivative of Kenton. Let's see what that is. What is Kenton? Kenton made for the Jews. Origin of sibling is defined. Well, if they're just showing it, I ain't finna go too hard at it. Because already basically let us know what it meant anyway. It was closed, right? All right, so let's keep on. Let's keep it moving. I ain't trying to give y'all no boring information, but y'all see what them colors and stuff meant. That was heavy. So rewind if you got to. Pause the video. Jot down some names. Get back at it. Check out the Kamaja people. Y'all see what I'm doing. It's easy. Just get on that button, just click. And you can hold down on your cell phone, hold down on it, on the word, and search that button. If you really trying to see what's going on. But yeah, I'm gonna lead you to the promised land. I'm gonna make you aware of the promised land, that you are in the promised land. Let me say it like that. All right, Kamaza, history. Historically spelled Kamaze or Kumaze. Does somebody say kamikaze or something like that? All right. And usually spelled Kamase in Twa. All right. It's a city in Ashanti religion and is among the largest metropolitan areas in Ghana. Kumaze is near Lake Bosumatoy in a rainforest region, and it's the commercial, industrial, and cultural capital of the historical Ashanti Empire. And by the way, it's springtime right now, y'all. Springtime. Basically, it's the first of the year, earth-wise, so to speak. All right, that's sidebar. All right, so let's check out Twa right quick, because we've seen Twa quite a few times. Twa is like the root. All right, Twa is a common name for mutually intelligible former literary dialects of the Akan language, Asante and Akuapem, as the first Akan dialect to be used for Bible translation, has become the prestige dialect as a result. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? It said they wrote the Bible. It said they're the first one that had the first translation, and everybody translated it from them, the Twa people. So let's check out these people, see what's up with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know you do want to hide that, don't you? You understand? Let's check out Twa people, see who that is real quick. I gotta check this out. Can't let them hide this one. I should have, kind of think about it, I should have checked out the other ones. Since they want to show us what's going on the first time. Look at that, Twa people, who that is. Who that is. Some more of your brothers and your sisters, man. Some more of your brothers and your sisters. The real ones. The American looking ones. Not no super duper African looking ones. Not, no pun intended. But I'm just saying. Look at them. All right. So yeah. Again, I don't know where all them come from. Where they trying to let you know they come from us, I guess. I don't know what they trying to show. They be popping up. But this picture keep on showing up. Let me click on this picture, see what's going on with them. I guess it's something very important that's going on. Look, it's the Khyber people, ancient Akan warlords in Ghana. Okay, so these are warlords. All right. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So we see what it is. We see what kind of people they are. So we gotta start getting into the languages and stuff. Okay. Seem like, no, I don't need to say that. But I know what it is though. All right, see, they ain't showing nothing. Look, you just put twine, that is all they gonna show. Ain't that something? So if you don't know, they ain't gonna show. And Google normally show everything, though. You gotta show, do some looking, don't you? Come on, man. They talk about the T wave, so they said the twi wave. Yeah, I don't even see how that got clicked off. Like, so they talk about the T wave. They ain't want me to click on that. So the T wave is the twi wave. Come on now, look it up. Look at this shit moving by itself. Stop playing with me. Yeah, I'm going down now. Y'all see this shit in real time. I'm glad I'm recording this shit. You don't see that? Get on down there and get to that wave. Cause I'm finna tell them about the sin wave. Yeah, yes I am. And he look, they said Twi Bible. See that? Twi Bible. I ain't know they had a Twi Bible literally. That's probably gonna be deep too. I might even check that out. So now, just dealing with waves and all that, right? Which y'all can see. And it falls under Twi. They talk about Twi. Oh, okay, wow. When they say Wi-Fi, they really mean Twi-Fi, y'all. They telling on themselves. Look at themselves. Look at this right here. Look. What that say? They say Twi-Fi. My little pony. Friendship is magic. Come on, man. Twi-Fi. And they see the symbol. So they really telling you Wi-Fi is Twi-Fi, man. Wi-Fi is Twi-Fi. I just told y'all my shit started moving like as if, nah, nigga, don't look this up. Remember I told y'all, let me go ahead and punch this in. I should have punched them other ones in because, yeah, what y'all see what just came up, man? Look at this. And look, oh my goodness. Look at this symbology right here. It was already on there. I ain't even had to click out. Look it up. Look at this here. What that's showing. To me, that's showing the crown chakra to me. That's so much symbolism in itself, it don't make no sense. I don't think y'all understand the symbolism that's in this. It's looking like I'm gonna have to do a whole nother video. Hey man, when we come to like what's really going on as far as like the history wise, it sounds like let's get into the creme de la creme. You know, talking about that true enlightenment and all that we've been tapping into, that we understand it ain't nothing about no sky daddy. You feel me? It's about the power within. It's about brotherly love and stuff like that. And that we need to understand that it's our division is what's always been holding us down and keeping us back. And they don't have nothing else, and they don't have anything to do with anybody else. We've been doing this here for eons, trading on each other, backstabbing each other. You know what I'm saying? It's true. So, but it's about forming your groups though. It's about forming your people, getting your people tight, taking care of your own folks though, for real. Like they was doing back in the Gap. Just like all of us, all the different tribes was in the United States. But I guarantee you, it was a lot of tribes that didn't get along with one another. I guarantee it. We already had an internal war going on, so to speak, and then the foreigners just came in and capitalized. You see what I'm saying? That's all that really happened, and they was able to be bought to knock off the other tribes and stuff like that because they was trading guns and they were trading golds and slaves and stuff. Like the Indians here in the United States, man, just saying Indians for lack of better words, but us in the United States was knocking each other off and entrapping each other. That's really what was going on, bro. For real. I hate, I love to say it. I love to say it. Somebody prove me wrong, man. For real though. You gotta use our common sense. These folks showing us right in our face, like this energy and all this technology and stuff they got came from us. They call it Wi-Fi. That's what it really is. They're giving us the program right now. That's crazy. Did not expect to come up on that. By clicking on this wave right here. I bet it's got everything to do with how to do Wi-Fi. You see T-Wave, let me go ahead and click on this. See what they say about this right quick, y'all. Like I said, this would be something that I'll be doing on, doing on my spare time. But it's looking like, yeah, like it ain't really showing much anyway. But it's got something to do with some computer stuff, I guarantee it. Look at that, ECG. It's an ECG line. Oh, okay. A T wave. I need to just define T wave. Well, that's what it is, an ECG. You see? And showing polarities and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I ain't finna get into all that. It's an electrocardiogram, right? It's about the energy, like I was telling y'all about how the solar energy and the magnetic energy come together, and then it forms electromagnetic energy. So this is how to read electromagnetic energy. Okay, all right. So okay, just keep on going. Just go back. Like I said, I want to get too nerdy on y'all because I'm trying to keep it basic. But just like I said, I just told y'all what it is for the most part. So obviously that's the twi wave. That's crazy. Hold on, look. It's a T wave represents ventricular depolarization. All right, and I don't need to get into that yet. That's a whole nother video. It's a twi always present. It's a T wave should not be in the same direction as QRS. So you have to get into what is QRS and all that. Twi always present in a AVR. It's a twi. This what caught my attention. It said when it's a twi always present in an AVR. So it's a twi. This is related to twi. So this ECG machine is related to our people. Why are they naming it us? You see? And it's a twi in leads 3 and V1 may be a normal variant, But anyway, whole other topic, y'all. But when y'all learn this doctor shit, understand that all this stuff came from us, technology. Anyway, whole other deal. All right, so let's back up out of here. Look at this. It's showing you what it is. Man, Yeshua, twi. That sounds like Yeshua. My Yeshua. Okay, who is Yeshua? It said, let's learn twi. My Yeshua. You can get it too. You can learn twi. You see? See, that's going to be a whole nother thing. Yeshua, who is that? Everybody talking about Yeshua. Yeshua is Yeshua. All right, well, let's keep on moving. I need to write that down as a note. No cap. Better write that down, y'all. I can't forget to look that one up. Yeshua. I guarantee you they got something to do with Yeshua. All right. As much time as I took to write it down, I could have been looked it up already. But I need to get on back though. All right. So we went through twi, and it said Ashanti and Quampin, something like that. And they said they had the first Bible, so I need to look up the twi Bible when I get a chance. Let me write that down too. See what they talking about. See, they're telling something a little different than what we already been hearing about. You feel me? All right. You gotta know what's going on, y'all. All right, so let's get on back to it. I should have kept that open, actually. So let's get on with something else. I gotta get back in it. All right. I think we went to the Henry, went to Ashanti, that it was just saying. Let's get to Oida. Keep on tracing this thing all the way down, y'all. It's a Oida was a densely populated, prosperous kingdom located on the slave coast of West Africa and what is now Benin. It rose to prominence as an exporter of slaves in the late 17th century and flourished for about 60 years before falling to the inland kingdom of Dahomey. Okay, done. In 1727. All right, so this is 1727. Dahomey had a war with the Oida people. When I was saying that it was Ashanti and Dahomey, I don't think it was. They probably had a war too, but I was really talking about this right now. All right, so it's before the 17th century, the Aja people who populated the region of Oida and that of its inland predecessor, the kingdom of Alada, had not developed a commercial or maritime tradition and supported themselves with lagoon fishing, agriculture, and hunting. Increased competition for trade along the West African coast by the French, English, Dutch, and Portuguese from the second half of the 16th century on gradually reorientated the people of the slave coast toward the sea and the Atlantic and the 16th century and the Atlantic trade in the 1650s. In the 1650s. In the 1650s, Oida started breaking away from Alada and establishing itself as a powerful polity of warriors, slavers, and traders. In 1671, the French moved their trading factory from Alada to Oida, and the English and Portuguese were soon to follow. At the height of its commercial prosperity, in the first 2 decades of the 18th century, Oida controlled the export of between 15 and 20,000 slaves per year. Okay, so y'all get what's going on so far. And they were slave traders and all that. They broke away from Alada. Oida broke away from Alada and started trading slaves and all that. And the ancients before them, which was I think it was the Alada people. So the Aja peoples populated the inland predecessor of Alada. Okay, it was the Aja peoples that was fishing and doing agriculture and hunting and all that. So Alada had the slave trade on lock, is what it seemed like. You know what I'm saying? It said the kingdom of Alada had not developed their commercial merit. Okay, so it was Alada that didn't develop it yet. And then Oida wanted to get in the game. He started doing this thing. All right, so let's keep reading. It's a neighboring Dahomey's wars of conquest stretched southward to the coastal regions in the 1720s, disturbing trade and blocking trade routes from the interior. After Dahomey conquered and pacified Oida in 1727 to 28, the Dahomeyan king appointed bureaucratic officials to administer Oida as the principal port and commercial capital of the kingdom. For over a century more, Oida remained a center of the Atlantic slave trade under the patronage of the kings of Dahomey. The abolition of the Brazilian slave trade in 1851 and the installation of a British consul in Lagos ranged the death knell of the Atlantic slave trade, and by 1865, palm oil had entirely replaced the slaves in Oida's export market. So it's telling us that the British took over the slave trade that they was running to Brazil. All right, so that's placing us in America again. So if I'm not, listen, all this stuff is going on within the Americas. Is what I'm trying to tell you. All right, no cap. They're just reversing the story on us, but at least we got something to work with. All right, so check this out. And the thing about it is, it's so late in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like 1720s and all that, and they kind of old 1611, like they was running everything. Man, listen, stop playing. Stop playing, man. Tell me anything. I believe it. Yeah, right. All right, now let's read this here. So this the Elmina Castle. Now, I want y'all to keep in mind that earlier they was acting like slavery part and all that does started with us. You know, so like in the way that they doing it, you feel me? Like with the being gruesome and all that there. And I want y'all to understand too that black people was running everything. They already told y'all was running up and down the Mediterranean and all that stuff. Good and black, right? Good and black. That's what they say. But the Mediterranean and Nile and all that, Mississippi River, stuff like that, the Caribbean Sea, Mediterranean Sea, the Caribbean Sea. Oh, that's that. They got us popping up. What that is? All right. So let's do it. Elmina Castle. It's a Slave Kingdoms episode. All right. So you know what? I think you probably go online and CBS probably have a real story about this here. So let's keep going because I got a lot more to go. It's built in 1482 by Portuguese traders. Elmina Castle was the first European slave trading post in all the sub-Saharan Africa. Located on the western coast of present-day Ghana, it was originally built to protect the gold trade, but following its capture by the Dutch in 1637, it came to serve the Dutch slave trade with Brazil and the Caribbean. Peep game now. They said with Brazil and Caribbean, you understand? And they say the castle came under British ownership in the 1800s. All right, so the British didn't get involved until the 1800s. All right, so all this stuff about the British and the Spanish and the French and how they was running the Americas, no. Not early in the game, like, no sir, that's a lie. They was trying to enroach, and they was having some trouble. They started paying people off, man, and all that. All right, it's a Elmina, like other West African slave fortresses, housed luxury suites for the European in upper levels. The slave dungeons below were cramped and filthy. Each cell often housing as many as 200 people at a time, without enough space to even lie down. They say the floor of the dungeon, as a result of centuries of impacted filth and human excrement, is now several inches higher than it was when it was built. Outbreaks of malaria and yellow fever were common. Staircases led directly from the governor's chambers to the women's dungeon below, making it easy for him to select personal concubines from amongst the women. So now who had the diseases? The funky ass people that, what they just call their ass? Motherfucking the governors and shit. Had them goddamn diseases, giving them to the women and stuff like that. Trying to make it seem like it was the women that had it. That's why they couldn't come onto the shore. That's why they had to build off the shore and all that. They had to steal too. You know, they wasn't allowed to come on shore at all. Say at the seaboard side of the castle was the door of no return, the infamous portal through which slaves boarded the ship that would take them to on the treacherous journey across the Atlantic, known as the Middle Passage. By the 18th century, 30,000 slaves on their way to North America passed through Elma's door of no return each year. All right, today, Elma's economy is sustained by tourism and fish. Elmina Castle is preserved as a Ghanian National Museum and Monument, and is designated as a World Heritage Monument under UNESCO. It offers daily historical tours and is an extreme popular destination for African American tourists seeking to connect with their heritage. All right. So it's two stories going on at the same time. There's a whole lot of things going on at the same time during this time. You understand me? Whole lot going on. So you got the trade going back from Caribbeans in Brazil to Africa. And then you got the trade going on from the Caribbeans in Brazil to North America. And oh shit, they got down the neck fucking with me. Got that bitch though, I think. Get that bitch quick. Alright, anyway, my bad, y'all. I'm like that flying around. I got his ass. He tried to fly my damn nose. Anyway. But y'all people's going on though. Trade was going from Africa, West Africa, to the Caribbeans, Brazil, and all that kind of stuff, South America basically. And then it was going from there to Americas, and then it was probably sending people from the Americas to the Caribbeans, and it was just a big old trade. It was a lot of fighting going on on the interior. You see what I'm saying? They had to develop a stronghold to really penetrate the inner lands. You see what I'm saying? For the most part. Anyway, I don't want to go too far though. I still ain't really occurred with exactly what I'm getting to, because I really want to get on the women, showing how strong they was, like I was showing earlier. You see what I'm saying? So let's do it. Let's keep on going. So we get what that's all about. I think I read all that. Yep, the fishing in UNESCO. So I want y'all to really understand. So that's why so many people going to these places. You understand? All right, so I think that's it for the most part for that. So let's see what else we got open for y'all. Little Kamaza. I don't know what that is. Yeah, we went through that already. I don't know what is Twitter. What is Twitter? Okay, I think I looked at what Twitter got to do with Twitter. Okay, I guess it's come on Twitter. Let's keep going. I know I had opened up all this stuff. Need to start closing some of this stuff. Close that one. Went through Voodoo already. Went through Haiti. Just giving y'all a recap what we went through. Haiti. Went through Oloron. Went through Yoruba. Went through that one. Went through Mawa. Went through Lisa. Fun cosmology. Went through that. There go my thing I was looking for earlier. Went through that. Went through Kamaza. I want to keep a man deal up there. Went through that. Take that Twitter off of there. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to stay organized for us, man. So, we won't get too lost. I think we went through the OU people. I ain't spell it right and all that there. But I ain't mistaken, we went through that with me. Scroll on down just in case I didn't. Y'all see who those is? It's our people, man. You see? I ain't lying. Check us out. Look at her. I know what it is. Look at her. I ain't playing. People ain't no joke. Look at them. Serpent people. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Worry about no snakes or nothing, bro. See them funky ass crackers in the background. Still trying to be involved in what the fuck we got going on, for real. Yeah, I said it. Look at them. I'm gonna show y'all why the women be looking so gangster in a minute, man. They know what it really is, man. They are the gangsters, man. Women are the gangsters, nigga. So let's keep going. Went through a lot of the time of redisment and commune located in Ataleketekwe, Department of Benin, the current town of Alata, corresponding to a lot of people. I think I went through that already. Okay, we'll see what it means. You say Alata, the current town of Alata corresponds to Great Adra, also called Grand Adra or Ada, which was the capital of a Fon kingdom, also called Alata, the Alata Kingdom, which existed from around the 13th or 14th century, date of initial settlements by the Aja people, reorganized as a kingdom, you know, and so on and so forth, which we already know what it is. So, like I say, y'all going through it. Look at the rest of it. I'm just giving y'all a whole lot of blast game, man. That's all I'm trying to give you. Look at that. That look like the seat in Egypt, okay? So, what does this mean right here? Let's see what this means. Could I say like something else? Osiris sitting on something. What the hell that mean? They talk about, let's see what it mean, but they ain't showing, huh? Don't play with me. I go get it. Well, I wonder what it mean though. Look like rulership. I'll put the words in there. They got a main word underlined. Let's see what that main word is. They got underlined right there. How you spell that? Let me write that down. I ain't gonna remember that. Choir. I can remember that. Let's see. That might not even come up. Choir. We find choir. I think a year. Let's see what this means. It don't look like they're gonna show us nothing that they talking about a little bit. Either meaning what? Also two. Okay, where is that? Sound like it might be. Look like it might be a Portuguese word. Let's say Portuguese and Portuguese. Well, I don't know. I tried to see if I can get a piece of information. Okay, might be at something right here. They say expressions of the word corza. Okay, fun with Brazil. Okay, and this post will make it look okay. Come okay. The basic meaning of the word corza is a thing. It's a thing. You can. All right. What is the name meaning of thing? So alguma coisa means something. Quaguer. Coisa means anything. All right. So like you can have anything. That's basically what that's meaning. So if I look at the rest of the words, I'll be able to piece it together, you see. But anyway, that ain't what I'm trying to get to, so let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. But as we can see, it got something to do with Brazil. It got something to do with Portuguese, you see. Yeah, got something to do with that. But you see, they got it on the map over here. All right, so let's go. Let's keep on going. All right. So let's check this out. This in the Smithsonian Magazine. This is gonna be pretty interesting again. I got a little boring for a second, right? It's about going to another part basically. This is another shift. This is what I'm really trying to curve us to let us understand how important our women is, and for our women to understand how important, how strong they are, which they know that already. And I'm about to show y'all brothers why we got to start respecting our women tough attitude, because that's just who they are. indigenously. You feel me? And we gonna have to tighten up for real because we run together. Hold on, let me take my shoes off right quick. Give me 1 second. Been going hard for a minute. I'm at my own highs. I don't need to keep my shoes on too much longer. Relax my feet right quick, Exercise my freedom. Do that. All right. So now, let's get into this here. Let me blow this up a little bit if I can so y'all can see what's going on. I don't want to blow it up too much. I think I did. It might still be good though. It might be in there. All right, now let's do this. It's a when or indeed why the Hummy recruited its first female soldiers is not certain. Stanley Alpern, author of the only full-length English language study of them, suggests it may have been in the 17th century, not long after the kingdom was founded by Dako, a leader of the Fon tribe, around 1625. One theory traces their origins to teams of female hunters known as Gibeto, and certainly the Hummy was noted for its women hunters. A French naval surgeon named Repin reported in the 1850s that a group of 20 Gibeto had attacked a herd of 40 elephants, killing 3 at the cost of several hunters gored and trampled. A Ghanian tradition relates that when King Jezo, 1818 to 1858, praised their courage, the Gibeto cockily replied that a nice manhunt would suit them even better. So he drafted them into his army, but Alpern cautions that there is no proof that such an incident occurred, and he prefers an alternative story that suggests the women warriors came into existence as a palace guard in the 1720s, all right? And they say women had the advantage of being permitted in the palace precincts after dark. The Ghanian men were not. And a bodyguard may have been formed, Alpern says, from among the king's third-class wives, those considered insufficiently beautiful to share his bed and who had not borne children, contrary to 19th century gossip that portrayed the female soldiers as sexually voracious. The homies' female soldiers were formerly married to the king, and since he never actually had relations with any of them, marriage rendered them celibate. Celibate. You understand? They were not having sex. They just saying that's some bull what they try to show. All right, so let's keep going. What they say? The Hummy's female hunters, the Gibeto, attack a herd of elephants, public domain. Wow. It's at least one bit of evidence hints that Alpern is right to date the formation of the female corpse to the early 18th century. A French slaver named Jean Peridibot, who called the Dahomey port of Oida in 1725, described being groups of third-rank wives armed with long poles and acting as police. And when 4 years later, the Hummy's women warriors made their first appearance in written history, they were helping to recapture the same ports after it fell to a surprise attack by the Yoruba, a much more numerous tribe from the east, who would henceforth be the Dahomeyans' chief enemies. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Dohemi's female troops were not the only martial women of their time. There were at least a few contemporary examples of successful warrior queens, the best known of whom was probably Nzinga of Matamba. So that sounds like the Mamba almost. One of the most influential figures in 17th century Angola, a ruler who fought the Portuguese, quaffed the blood of sacrificial victims, and kept a harem of 60 male concubines, whom she dressed in women's clothes. Nor were female guards unknown in the mid 17th century. King Monkuk or Saum, the same monarch memorably portrayed in a quite different light by Yul Brynner, the king, and I. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's anything more important you got to say. All right, so this King Gizzo right here. All right, let's get down. King Gizzo. See that? It's a King Gizzo who expanded the female corpse from around 600 women to as many as 6,000. Say none of this, of course, explains why the female corpse arose in Dahomey. Okay, so let's do it. Let's see if anything important. So as y'all can see, y'all can do your own thing. Check it out. But look, this is history, real life history. Why do you always gotta have a cracker around somewhere? Where that cracker comes from? The women wars parade outside the gates of the Dahomey town with the severed heads of their defeated foes adorning the walls. Look, wow, look at this shit. Look, those are the heads of the enemies on top of the walls. That's what they're saying. They was cutting off heads, man. All right. It's a recruiting women in it. My bad, y'all. It's a recruiting women in the Bohemian army was not especially difficult, despite the requirement to climb thorn hedges and risk life and limb in battle. Most West African women lived lives of forced drudgery. Ghezo's female troops lived in his compound and were kept well supplied with tobacco, alcohol, and slaves, as many as 50 to each warrior. According to the noted traveler, Sir Richard Bouton, who visited Dahomey in the 1860s, and when Amazons walked out of the palace, notes Alpern, right? When Amazons, I want y'all to pay attention to that. Amazons, that's going to be very important later on. All right? So it say when Amazons walked out of the palace, notes Alpern, they were preceded by a slave girl carrying a bell. The sound told every man to get out of their path, retire a certain distance, and look the other way. To even touch these women meant death. You understand me? Look at this. What is this? It's a insensitivity training. Female recruits look on as Domian troops hurl bound prisoners of war to a mob below. Right? It's a insensitivity training. Female recruits look on as Bohemian troops hurl bound prisoners of war to a mob below. Look, and then whenever time a European, white European come around that they deal with, they show out. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why when we got over here, when they came over here to the Americas, that's why they were brutalizing us, man. It was brutal because that's what they saw happening to us over there. So it's like, hey, y'all was doing it to yourselves, so we're going to run it like that too. You see, but look at this though. Look what's going on. You see the women right there watching. The women watching the men, teaching them how to be ruthless and heartless. But that kind of seemed like a white man right there. You see? All right. So I said, while Gizzo plotted his revenge against the Egba, his new female recruits were put through extensive training. The scaling of vicious thorn heads and was intended to foster the stoical acceptance of pain. And the women also wrestled one another and undertook survival training, being sent into the forest for up to 9 days with minimal rations. The aspect of the Bohemian military custom that attracted most attention from European visitors, however, was insensitivity training. Wow. Exposing unblooded troops to death. At one annual ceremony, new recruits of both sexes were required to mount a platform 16 feet high, pick up baskets containing bound and gagged prisoners of war, and hurl them over the parapet to a baying mob below. There are also accounts of female soldiers being ordered to carry out executions. Sean Bayot, a French naval officer who visited Albany in December 1889, watched as a teenage recruit, a girl named Naniska, who had not yet killed anyone, was tested, brought before a young prisoner who sat bound in a basket. She walked gently up to him, swung her sword 3 times with both hands, then calmly cut the last flesh that attached the head to the trunk. She then squeezed the blood out of her weapon and swallowed it. Boy. What in the hell is going on here? It was this fierceness that most unnerved Western observers. And indeed, the Hummy's African enemies. Now, everyone agreed on the quality of the Bohemians' military preparedness. European observers was disdainful of the way in which the women handled their ancient flint rock muskets, most firing from the hip rather than aiming from the shoulder. But even the French agreed that they excelled at hand-to-hand combat and handled admirably. Wow. For the most part, too, the enlarged female corps enjoyed considerable successes in Gizzo's endless wars, especially in the pre-dawn attacks and unsuspecting enemy villages. It was only when they were thrown against the Igbo capital, Abeokuta, that they tasted defeat. 2 furious assaults on the town in 1851 and 1864 failed dismally, partially because of Dahomean overconfidence, but mostly because Abeokuta was a formidable target, a huge town ringed with mud and brick walls and harboring a population of 50,000. Okay. Behind it, the last king of an independent Dahomey. They're like one of my people, man. They're like Kevin Hart, huh? Look at Kevin Hart, kinfolk, man. They got on there. No cap. That's Kevin Hart, kinfolk. And they know it. Look like he a clown, too. Don't he look like he like to tell jokes? That nigga look like he like telling jokes, man. Bullshit ain't nothing. Like I say, these people from the 1800s, almost 1900s, man. Come on, man. Let's get with this. Let's figure out what the hell is going on. Click out of this. All right, let's go. It say by the late 1870s, the Humvee had begun to temper its military ambitions. Most foreign observers suggest that the Women's Corps was reduced to 1,500 soldiers at about this time, but attacks on the Yoruba continued, and the Corps still existed 20 years later, when the kingdom at last found itself caught up in the scramble for Africa, which, they got caught up in the scramble for Africa. Okay, they started trying to go to Africa. They say which saw various European powers competing to absorb slices of the continent into their empires. So they were saying that they need to start going to Africa to protect the empire. All right, it say the Humvee fell within the French sphere of influence. And there was already a small French colony at Porto Novo when, in about 1889, female troops were involved in an incident that resulted in a full-scale war, according to local histories. The spark came when the Dahomeyans attacked a village under French suzerainty, whose chief tried to avert panic by assuring the inhabitants that the tricolor would protect them. So you like this flag? The Bohemian general asked when the settlement had been overrun. Bien, it will serve you. At the general's signal, one of the women warriors beheaded the chief with one blow. Hold on, what happened again? Why she did that? Let's see. It said the Bohemian general asked when the settlement had been overrun, bien, meaning it will serve you. Well, hey, hold on, about the flag part. That's that you like the flag, trying to be smart. And then they say at the general's signal, right? One of the women warriors, oh, okay, see, the general was a woman. They say at the general's signal, the woman warriors beheaded the chief with one blow of her cutlass and carried his head back to the new king, Ghanian. That's the one we just saw, wrapped in the French standard. All right? So we see what's going on now. So I'm gonna dig in all kind of information, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. These are folks right here, man. This the real deal. It said the first Franco-Bohemian War, which ensued in 1890, resulted in two major battles, one of which took place in heavy rain at Duns outside Cantunio, on the Bight of Benhazen army, which included female units, assaulted a French stockade, but was driven back in hand-to-hand fighting. No quarter was given on either side. And Sean Bayol saw his chief gunner decapitated by a fighter he recognized as Namniska. That's the one that was talking about, the young woman he had met 3 months earlier in Albany as she had executed a prisoner, right? Only the sheer firepower of this modern rifles won the day for the French. In the battle's aftermath, Bayol found Namniska lying dead, the clever, with his curved blade engraved with fetish symbols. Where I went through the idols and stuff like that, right? Was attached to her left wrist by a small cord. He wrote, and her right hand was clenched around the barrel of her carbine covered with cowries. Okay, so gotta check out that. What cowries are. All right, say in the uneasy peace that followed, Benhazen did his best to equip his army with more modern weapons, but the Dahomeyans were still no match for the large French force that assembled to complete the conquest 2 years later. That 7-week war was fought even more fiercely than the first. There were 23 separate battles, and once again, female troops were in the vanguard of Benhazen's forces. The women were the last to surrender, and even then, at least, according to a rumor coming in the French army of occupation, the survivors took their revenge on the French by covertly substituting themselves for the Ghanian women who were taken into the enemy stockade. Each allowed herself to be seduced by a French officer, waited for him to fall asleep, then cut his throat with his own bayonet. Man, these women were tough, man. Wow. A group of women warriors in traditional dress. Say their last enemies were full of praise for their courage. A French foreign legionnaire named Bern lauded then as warrioresses or whatever, fight with extreme valor, always ahead of the other troops. They are outstandingly brave, well trained for combat, and very disciplined. A French Marine, Henry Morin-Navarre, thought them remarkable for their courage and their ferocity, flung themselves on our bayonets with prodigious bravery. Most sources suggest that the last of the Ghanian women warriors died in the 1940s, but Stanley Alpern disputes this, pointing out that a woman who had fought the French in their teens would have been no older than 69 in 1943. He suggests more pleasingly that it is likely one or more survived long enough to see her country regaining its independence in 1960. As late as 1978, a Beninese historian encountered an extremely old woman in the village of Kinta, who convincingly claimed to have fought against the French in 1892. Her name was Nawi, and she died, aged well over 100 in November 1979. Probably she was the last. Probably she was the last. What were they like? These scattered survivors of a storied regiment. Some proud but impoverished. It seems others married, a few tough and argumentative, well capable. Alpern says of beating up men who dared to affront them, and at least one of them still traumatized by a service, a reminder that some military experiences are universal. A Bohemian who grew up in the Cantuno in the 1930s recalled that he regularly tormented an elderly woman he and his friends saw shuffling along the road. Bent double by tiredness and age, he confided to French. Okay, let's keep going. I think that's pretty much it, though. Yeah, let me go ahead and read it. It said, one day, one of us throws a stone that hits another stone. The noise resounds, a spark flies. We suddenly see the old woman straighten up. Her face is transfigured. She begins to march proudly, reaching a wall. She lies down on her belly and crawls on her elbows to get around it. She thinks she is holding a rifle because abruptly she shoulders and fires. Then reloads her imaginary arm and fires again, imitating the sound of a salvo. Then she leaps, pounces on an imaginary enemy, rolls on the ground in furious hand-to-hand combat, flattens the foe. With one hand, she seems to pin him down to the ground, and with the other, stabs him repeatedly. Her cries betray her effort. She makes the gesture of cutting to the quick and stands up, brandishing her trophy. Look at this here, man. Beans, look at her. Female officers pictured in 1851 wearing symbolic horns of office on their heads. Public domain. Symbolic horns of office. Now, one definition of demons is police. Yeah, real talk. So I guess this has something to do with it, with the horns or whatever. Hold on one second, y'all. My bad. I'm back on. It's my fault. All right, so let's do it. Let's keep on moving, man. This is interesting. It says, she intones a song of victory and dances. The blood flows. You are dead. The blood flows. You have won. The blood flows. It flows. It flows. The blood flows. The enemy is no more. But suddenly she stops, dazed. Her body bends, hunches. How old she seems, older than before. She walks away with a hesitant step. She is a former warrior, and a doe explains. The battles ended years ago, but she continues the war in her head. Okay, so they're saying that people that, they go crazy, what they call it, PSD, and all that stuff. All right, so that's it, man. That's pretty interesting what Smithsonian had to say about it. All right, so now Ashanti, also known as Ashanti, Khan to the group. And we already went through that. Let's check out a Khan, see what that's all about. A Khan is a member of a people inhabiting southern Ghana and adjacent parts of Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, the Kwa language, spoken by a Khan. There are two main dialects, Ashanti and Fante. All right, so let's see. All right, so let's go to something else. History of the Hundred. Went through that already for the most part. Something else I want to show y'all right quick. Yeah, here we go. Let's get to this. Now I'm finna show y'all how this relating to the United States. It's where it gets deep. Just so y'all know that we've been bamboozled for the most part. Uh-oh. My phone. All right, so let's do this. Let's get on this Khalifa deal. Let's show you how this relates to the United States. Califia. Califia or Calafia is a fictional character introduced by writer Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo in his popular novel entitled Las Sagas de Esplanian, The Adventures of Esplanian, written around 1500. See now, I want to tell y'all for the most part that this is not a fictional story, as y'all gonna see. But the thing about it is, he had to say it was fiction so that he could write it. You see what I'm saying? And get away with it. But somebody that got the history and they just started and they're using it. You see. But let's keep on reading. It say in the novel, Califia is a pagan warrior queen who ruled over a kingdom of Arabic women living on the island of California, an island off the coast of Asia. Califia is convinced to raise an army of women warriors and sail away from California with a large flock of trained griffins so that she can join a Muslim battle against Christians who are defending Constantinople. Come on now. Now we about to get deep. If y'all think it was deep already, we about to get super duper deep. Hope y'all know how to swim, man. So y'all know Constantinople introduced Jesus Christ. You see, the Council of Nicaea and all that kind of stuff, like the Christ in the flesh, falsehood. They hijacked our people understanding of what was going on. You see what they say, right? They were leaving California in order to go to where the Muslim was. We talking about go to the Mediterranean and to West Africa and all that kind of stuff to cause havoc. Remember that we was reading something earlier about the Christian missionaries, which really was Christian traders, like I said. And they see their people being, did wrong. But anyway, they say in the siege, the Griffins harm enemy and friendly forces. So they are withdrawn. Califia and her ally, Ridiaro, fight in single combat against the Christian leaders, a king and his son, the knight Esplandian. Califia is bested and taken prisoner, you see, as she converts to Christianity. She marries a cousin of Esplandian and returns with her army to California to further adventures. The name of Califia was likely formed from the Arabic word Khalifa. Religious state leader is what it means, which is known as Caliph in English and Khalifa in Spanish. Similarly, the name Califias, monarchy, California, okay, likely originated from the same root, fabricated by the author to remind the 16th century Spanish reader of the Reconquista, a centuries-long fight between Christians and Muslims, which had recently concluded in Spain. Okay, when they talk about the Moors and all that kind of stuff, you see. They say the character of Califia is used by Rodriguez de Tavo to portray the superiority of cavalry, in which the attractive Virgin Queen is conquered. The Virgin Queen, we're talking about the Virgin Mary, you see, the baby Jesus, and all that. We're celebrating our folks being conquered, you understand? Demonizing our folks and all that. It's a converted to Christian beliefs and married off. The book was very popular for many decades. Hernan Cortes read it. And he was selected by the author Miguel de Cervantes as the first of many popular and assumed harmful books to be burnt by characters in his famous novel Don Quixote. Don Quixote. Oh, no, that's good enough. Califia has been depicted as the spirit of California and has been the subject of modern-day sculpture, paintings, stories, and films. She often figures in the myth of California's origin, symbolizing an untamed and bountiful land prior to Europeans taking the land by force. All right, it's all prior to the European invasion, y'all. You understand? In California, so that let you know this United States stuff we're talking about. All right, so let's just see about the characters and all this kind of stuff. You see, we got the main gist. We see what's going on with it. We see what's up with it. Let's check out. Okay, so let's say right here. This is what I want to try to catch. Over here on the picture, it's a mural of Queen Califia, right? And her Amazons, key word. Y'all remember that they was talking about the Amazons, trying to make it seem as if it was all going on over there in West Africa. You understand? And they was talking about these women and how strong they was and how powerful they was and how skillful they were, right? And then on the back end, you see they telling you that these are the women that was on the island of California. You understand? That we're talking about United States stuff. We're talking about the Americas, as a matter of fact. All right? That's what we're dealing with right here. You see, island of California, but they call it our religion pagan. You say paganism is a term first used in the 4th century by early Christians for people in the Roman Empire who practiced polytheism. This was either because they were increasingly rural and provincial relative to the Christian population, or because they were not Milits Christi. All right, whatever that is, Milits Christi. Okay, so we get into what's really going on, man. And so when they talk about the pagans and all that kind of stuff, they really refer to us, y'all. And man, I love to say it. That's crazy, but I love to say it. All right, so let's check out something else that might be pretty important. Well, first of all, let's see if I can give y'all some more pictures of Khalifa. Khalifa. Let's check out some pics. Y'all see she good in black already, though. You see? Queen Khalifa. Let's see what they give us. Queen Khalifa. My bad, y'all. Spelling off. They got it with a C. I'll take it, whatever. As long as they show us the right picture. Look at that. Queen Khalifa. Khalifa. They're showing you what it is. Look, this is the seal of California right here. Hold up, wait a minute. This is a great seal of the island of California. Man, this is crazy. They're showing you on the seal, bro. So that's why California burning up. See, look, that's the elephant right there. Hold up, wait. Do y'all remember they were saying that they had killed some elephants? You understand? And you remember they were saying that the elephants they killed, they was portraying them to be in Ghana. But as y'all can see, she is sitting on top of an elephant right here. This is showing y'all that this information that we talking about are women in America. That's why the whole world want to be like the American shit, like us Black Americans. Nobody trying to be like all the other people. They trying to be like us. They taking our flavor. We got that flavor. We popping the flavor. Everything they are, we are. You see, right? But it ain't like that. But I'm just saying though. Look at what's really going on. She's sitting on an elephant. Why is she sitting on the elephant, bro? Come on, man. Let's stop playing. They're trying to let us know what it is. Look, that's the Indian shit around our hair. Come on, man. They're trying to let us know what the deal is. Look at this. Let's stop playing. Let's get with it, people. Like I say, let's get with it. Let's get with it. I like this, man. This is tough. Look at this. They come stepping up to our women. They butt naked. And these funky ass crackers come all trying to be all pleasing and all that. You see, we got our pagan stuff right there, getting them back, killing them. They came and started taking over, man. Look at them. Look how they start whitewashing. It's kind of made me sick to my stomach a little bit. You know, the great seal of California, that's what it is now. But they ain't showing that they was talking to the women. What I know they ain't saying that's Queen Khalifa right there. Look at what they're doing, man. They're saying Queen Khalifa. Look at this. Look at this. With the Indian deal on, with the spirit and everything, dog. With the picture the lady had and everything. You see this? Straight up hijack, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what they do, bro. All right, let's keep it moving, but we understand why they do it. They can't tell us they don't want us to wake up. I get it. Let's keep going, though. I don't want to get stuck on it. I think that's crazy, though. All right, let's get back before I lose track. I've been going for a minute. I got to be going for at least 2 or 3 hours right now. I have no idea. It's gonna be too much longer before I move around. Just sit on top of a bull. Not a false image, though. All right. What are we on right now? What we got right now? That might be pretty much it, man. I'm really trying to show y'all how to get to some more details later on. You feel me? I think for the most part, I showed y'all what I was trying to show y'all, though, which was, how women was handling their business. Amazonians, look, oh yeah, I think that's what I want to show y'all too, how they will hijack. Y'all see how it's the Amazonian Bohemians, you see? You see, Amazon Bohemian, see that? You see how people, that we already saw earlier? Look at this here. This real time. This ain't no mythology right here. Where the mythology at? And I'm trying to tell you, this is in California. This is in California. Let me see if I can pull up the Amazon Palace of California. Let's see. Amazon Palace in California. It might not be up no more, but it might show us an old one. Amazon place, nah. Amazon Palace. Say you erased my whole shit, so I ain't never go back. Amazon Palace, California. Of course, they ain't gonna show it like that. I should have put Khalifa Palace. Let's put that, see what comes up. Probably got to do some independent research, y'all, like I'm saying. So I don't want to hold y'all up too much, but y'all already see where I'm going to be going with it. Palace of the last Khalifa. Let's see what they show. Look, Egypt creator. We already know what Khalifa is. Why he talking about the Palace of Khalifa? You see? It said, let's see what he's saying. Let's see what he's saying. Nah, I don't want to do that too low. I don't feel like doing that. It's too small. Don't feel like blowing it up. All right, let me keep going. Let me look at the images right quick, see what they show us. It's a Burj Khalifa. Look, it's that unfinished thing that was coming out. Look, it's symbolic. You remember that picture I was showing y'all with the Wi-Fi? Yeah, with the Wi-Fi. You see, that's what this represents. Look at that. That's Burj Khalifa Hotel. That's in downtown Dubai. Come on, man. That's in Dubai. and it's called Burj Khalifa. Khalifa. I mean, everybody know what's up, man. Everybody know what's up except for us. Look at that, they sitting in our position. We started all that shit over there, all of it. Man, it's so crazy. Look, that's so crazy, man. Golden dreams for the whole world, man. Look at that guy standing there with the golden dream holding the star. Huh? Oh, man. This is in Disneyland, bro. Look, this is in Disneyland, bro. Disneyland. They're showing you who the fairy is. It's Philadelphia Memorial. Look at that. Where they got the roles switched like she helping his ass. What the fuck? Look what they doing in the Americas. Well, you know, in Philly. They ain't showing. Okay, look, they got up there with the star. Look at her. Look at her with the star. All right. Anyway, let's get up out of here. Man, there's so much going on in this world, y'all. So much. And I'm getting much of it that I can get, man. Look at that. That's the palace, man, in Dubai. They know. Okay, let's keep going. San Francisco, California, look like an old architecture right there. I think they knocked it down, though, the one that was in California. Yep, I think they knocked the one in California down a while ago. I think some old pictures somewhere. Look hard enough. But I ain't on that kind of timeline right now. I'm just trying to show how important and how strong our black women was. And that they was the ones kicking ass and everything. And that this whole war was going on right here in America. And they trying to they switch and ruin, as y'all can see, as what I'm, based on what I'm showing y'all what it is. See, straight up, this is crazy. Trying to make sure I ain't leaving nothing out. And then you got Amazon running their company, and they're taking our name. But yeah, I want to show y'all how they whitewash and everything. So y'all already see the Amazonians as black people, right? Amazon. Let me see if I just put Amazon people and how they gonna cheat the game. Watch this. Look at this. Look at this. Look what they're showing for the Amazon people. Which is all good. They can share a little bit, but watch this though. Look. Look. Who the fuck is these people? These people of the day that's claiming it's sitting on our heritage. Look, we think that these people are their own people when they really they impersonating being us. That's crazy. Look at this. You don't see no real blacks. They say the Amazon people. They're saying they derived from us. I guess that's what they're saying. But they ain't telling us it's our shit. Motherfuckers, they the ones that kind of help, man. I ain't trying to triple nobody. All right, but let me show y'all something, though. Amazon black people. Watch this. Black. That's crazy, huh? They still ain't really showing. Now watch this. Amazon Black Warriors. It's a shame that you got to go through all this to get to our truth, you see? And they're still bad at showing it. Look, so they bad at showing it here and there, still ain't really saying it how it's supposed to be. Look now. See how they playing? Look at that. A little bit here, a little bit there. They showed Queen Khalifa for the uniform black, What you would think is them, they got a mixture of everybody. Right? It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else but our folks. That was black women warriors. Let's see what's gonna come up. See, you gotta put in the right thing. Now they showing most of the black girls. But they still ain't really showing enough for my appetite. It was something I had put in earlier though, that took me to a whole lot of blacks, you see. But for the most part, they ain't showing it right. You see that? Got it mixed up. But good thing we just went through the whole truth. And then but the truth to see. And it's all us, you see. But they ain't really showing it like that. Right? That's crazy. So you gotta know about everything. And you know what's sad about it, man? You know what's sad about it though? But they're showing it right now when you scroll down on this one. What's sad about it is that you gotta really, really, really know what you're looking for to even get to it. Now they're showing it. Why didn't this come up the first time? Why this didn't come up the first time? That's what I want to know. It say Amazons of Black Sparta. You see? Black Sparta. These are all women. Look, 16, 1900. A lot of them ain't got no shirts on or nothing, man. So they get conquered and they get raped and everything, bro. For real, dog. Like, that's what's going on. Breasts all out, man. This is crazy. And that's why you see them walk around, don't really care like that. Like, hey, man. What is this? I guess it's their kit. Our kit. So, I think I had ran through her already. Showed her who she was. Said, home bet. You see? That's a woman. You see? With a man head in her hand. Look at that. Straight up killer. Straight up killer, man. Real talk. I guess she the same one. But that's her name. And so you see Khalifa standing on top of a white person. They probably showing different blacks, stuff like that too, but we were whacking everybody out. And they were knocking them off because they was traitors with Constantine. Yeah, that'd be pretty. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that right quick. Let's look up Constantinople. Constantinople. And I wanted to look up the conquistador or something like that too. And you know what? Constantinople is basically constable, huh? Wow. The constable. And I guess the first police was those black women too. So let's check out Constantinople right quick, see what it's all about. Constantinople was the capital city of the Roman Empire. There we go, the Roman Empire, 330 to 395, Eastern Roman, Byzantine Empire, 395, 1204, 1206, okay, Ottoman Empire. All right, let's go, going down. So, but yeah, we already see what it is already. It's a part of the Roman Empire. So I take it over doing everything. Let's see what it relates to anything about it. Look at that, they trying to do like, stop it. Everything we do, they try to do. Let me scroll down to something important because he got everything to do with the Bible. It's good. Look, it's a Emperor Constantine I presents a representation of the city of Constantinople as tribute to an enthroned Mary and Christ child in this church mosaic. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on. Yeah, Constantine is one who came up with all that, with Jesus and stuff like that. It was the land of milk and honey. Medicus. All right, y'all, it's taking too long for me to find something. So they talk about the imperial exile and all that kind of stuff. Well, just know that all this dealing with our women. Basically the main idea. I say request store. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Let's see. Right here. So look at this. This one is fighting against the black women, right? Let's see if I can copy this and research this out independently. Because I want to show y'all some pictures. What was going on right there? Look. Look. Try to find some pictures where they're showing the truth. They're showing some barely. But like all the people that was on the horses with the women and all that, you know what I'm saying, during this war, as we already know because we're just reading about the Amazon people. But like I said, that's how they hijack everything. And they keep us from knowing what we need to be knowing. You know, listen. Let's see. It was something I had looked up a while ago. I forgot the name. It might have been Black Indians or something like that. So I'll say Black Mexicans. Let me just put Black Mexicans. Black Mexicans. Catholic. Let's see, my bad. I didn't mean to put spell Catholic. I didn't put Black Mexicans. It's just gonna show Black Mexicans, huh? Yeah, but that's all our stuff over there. Let's see if I can paste this on top of that. Nope, that ain't gonna work. You see that Mother Mary shit. All right. Don't really have time to look for what I'm trying to find right now. Let's see if I can go back and get another clue. Cordova. So a lot of these places is names in my city, Pensacola. But yeah, man, I think I done dropped so much heat already, man. I'm about to just chill out for a part two, for the most part. But it said something about the Moors down here. It said, consider it proved that the possession of the Christian state building in Iberia was indeed often defined by the reclamation of lands that had been lost to the Moors in generations past. In this way, state buildings may be characterized in our logic. See, and you got to think about it sometimes, like, when people came over here and took over and all that, you know what I'm saying? We ain't built up all this stuff just like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that means this stuff was already built, especially for the most part, it was already built up, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that new. Kingdom of Granada, all that kind of stuff. So we talk about the Crusades. See, you got the Crusades going. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. I think that's what I'm looking for. The Crusades. Mexican Crusades. Or Ancient Crusades. Let's see what they give me when they say Ancient Crusades. Crusades of America. Crusades of America. It was something I had put in that was so off the wall back in the day, dog. And they pulled up a bunch of black Indians showing trade. It was showing how the Catholic people was putting up their signs and stuff, and the people like they was trying to convert them into Christianity and all that. And it was like Indian people, you know. That's what it was. It was just put in black Indian real quick, just for the last try. But besides that, I think I'm gonna get out of here, man. We've been doing our thing for a minute. So what I was just about to put in there though, I forgot mine and went blank just that quick, cuz. What was I about to put in there right quick? Trying to find the Crusades, black people, trying to show that there was us all down there when they was conquering. I done straight up forgot black Indians. That's what I was about to look up. Black Indians. Let's see what we come up with. We get some old pictures, which we know it was the Indians in a way, the ones that got sense. There's a whole lot of traffic going down my street because got a whole bunch of youngsters driving. And they all think they're NASCAR drivers too. But I don't think I'm gonna see what I was looking for. But y'all see, that's why a lot of black people claiming their heritage. Because this thing get deep, man. You see those black Indians, Cherokee Indians, my people Cherokee, Choctaw, a couple of more. All right. But I definitely thank y'all once again for tuning in to another episode of Wisdom Secrets University. And I hope this is knowledge that helps you for a lifetime, honestly. Hope this information can actually do change in your life. You know. But with that being said, man, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.